Hello, I'm Robert Castellano, and I'm in the Global Business 2001 Level Section 1 Spring 2019 class. And today I will be talking about Harley-Davidson, the internationalization in the Trump era. Harley-Davidson shareholders have been caught in an irritating game of trade between the United States and Europe. The issue is causing such a dilemma for Harley's in regard to its ability to export bikes to the European market, that it is likely to move some production overseas to avoid the costs. While this certainly isn't helping matters, the current trade situation cannot be blamed for Harley-Davidson's overall situation. The motorcycle legend has been suffering for years from sales issues and general fallout in competition towards its competitors. The issues and financial shifts facing the company mean that investors should have been bearish on this one long before trade disputes. Harley-Davidson was established in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1903 and had a long history. CEO Levitek was fairly new to his role, having been elected president and CEO on May 1st, 2015. He had to consider his options for reversing the trend of a year-long sales decline, generated mostly in the United States, and a downward trending stock price caused by the aging of the company's main U.S. customers, who were overwhelmingly white, male, and middle-aged. However, as a well-trained business executive and a Harley-Davidson veteran since 1994, he probably realized that international trade, which was often associated incorrectly with the loss of U.S. jobs to other countries, had been targeted as the enemy. In the context of the America First policy, international expansion had clearly become politically incorrect. On Inauguration Day, 2 weeks before Levitek's meeting at the White House, the U.S. international trade policy environment had turned away from globalization and its main trading partners, this including China, Japan, Mexico, and European countries, raising concerns around the world. On January 23, 2017, making a good on-campaign promise, Trump pulled the United States out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, also known as the TPP, an agreement that had been aimed at boosting trade and reducing thousands of tariffs among 12 nations. U.S. participation in the TPP would have benefited Harley-Davidson and many other U.S.-based nationalism in several industries, and because of this, the tensions between the White House and the U.S. business community had reached a new height. The first question we must ask is, what are the challenges and opportunities facing Harley-Davidson? The first challenge Harley is facing is the long-term revenue and how it doesn't add up. While Harley has managed earnings that have kept the stock viable, the big picture fundamentals have been stagnant. In the 2017 market, Harley created a full-year revenues of $5.6 billion. That's a 5.82% decrease from the year of 2016. As a whole, revenue hasn't really grown since 2014, as the company has dealt with this stagnating revenue stream. Gross income has suffered as cost cuts do not keep up with revenue fallout. The second challenge that Harley is facing is Trump's silly war with the motorcycle company. The president tariffs led the company to move jobs to Europe. President Trump then decided to respond by trying to incite a Harley boycott. President Trump tweeted this statement: "Many Harley-Davidson owners plan to boycott the company if manufacturing moves overseas. Great! Most other companies are coming in our direction, including Harley competitors. A really bad move. U.S. will soon have a level playing field, or better." He then goes on to say, "A Harley-Davidson should never be built in another country. Never. Their employees and customers are already very angry at them. If they move, watch. It will be the beginning of the end. They surrendered. They quit. The aura will be gone, and they will be taxed like never before." Harley is taking a big risk by launching new motorcycles in the year of 2020 to grow its business. The Milwaukee-based company announced a substantial overhaul of its global strategy. Notably, the move wasn't in response to President Donald Trump's recent attacks on the brand. Trump complained when Harley announced that it would shift production to non-US markets to build bikes for Europe, dodging potential tariffs. Rather, Harley-Davidson said it would close a factory in Missouri to concentrate manufacturing in the US. Harley said it would bring to market 3 new bikes, based on a similar modular architecture, in the year of 2020. They'll be what the company called its first adventure touring motorcycle, the Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250. A quote from CEO Matt Levitek stated, "The bold actions we are announcing today leverage Harley-Davidson's vast capabilities and competitive firepower, our excellence in product development and manufacturing, the global appeal of the brand, and of course, our great dealer network." CEO Matt Levitek. Next, I will describe global and domestic contexts facing the CEO of Harley-Davidson. The CEO faced backlash from the president. The new U.S. president was pushing an America First foreign policy agenda, and the company was experiencing lackluster quarterly results, including decreases in revenue, down 14.28%, net income down 25.58%, and earnings per share down 22.08%. Compared with the same period in 2016, Harley-Davidson CEO needed to address a pressing dilemma: to expand internationally or not. Then international competition with other manufacturers. International competition originating from Japan, including Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Yamaha, also including Europe, BMW, and Ducati, had started to hurt Harley-Davidson in the 1960s, and these motorcycle makers were continuing to compete for riders. The CEO needs to come up with a plan that will put their company above others in all markets. Finally, domestic pressure from other price discounts. Even with a 53.1% share of the market for motorcycles with engines of at least 601cc, Harley-Davidson was under increasing pressure in the form of significant price discounts from Polaris Industries, which sold motorcycles under its Indian brand. However, CEO Levitek had refused to engage in a price war and expected more sales, even while his industry was becoming more competitive and his loyal customer base was shifting. Another question is, how does foreign policy affect business in general and international expansion in particular? Relationships with other countries. Foreign policy is important because it determines the state of relationships between countries and guides the diplomats in negotiations. If a country is too aggressive and refuses to take into the legitimate interests of other countries, it may face a pushback or even an armed conflict. The next business effect, along with foreign policy, is taxation. Taxation policy affects business costs. For example, a rise in corporation tax has the same effect as an increase in costs. Businesses can pass some of this tax onto its consumers in higher prices, but it would also affect the bottom line. Government spending policy also affects business. What approach would you recommend CEO Levitek to take in order to grow sales and increase the stock price? First, I would introduce a lot more technology into the product. If you want to draw the attention of the younger generation, do this by adding more features related to technology. Another benefit could be that Harley can partner with many other tech firms. Next, I would work with a better marketing strategy, whether it be new commercials, more involvement with the social media, and things that people could and would want to relate with. Finally, a consumer wants to hear everything straightforward. If Harley would gain the trust of its consumers by having full transparency, maybe more customers will soon follow them. Overall, considering the position that CEO Levitik was put into, he's doing the best he can with what he has done and provided. Listen, not every person is going to be a great CEO, but with some new strategy, Harley-Davidson will have a lot more success in the near future. Here are the website references I used, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation on Harley-Davidson Internationalization in the Trump era.